G'day, my name's Chris. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about our disc stacks. They're disc pants manufactured specifically for disc golf. They basically have four-way stretch, water repellent material. They have a towel attachment pocket in the front side of each pair of pants. They have zip back pockets. They have enough belt loops to tie you up, and you got reflectors. So for those of you riding to the course on your bike, you'll be safe in the dude pants. We're predicting these pants are going to become legendary. Get yourself some.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the opening of the 2017 Disc Golf Pro Tour. I'm your host Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, and we are here in a beautiful sunny Fountain Hills, Arizona, kicking off the first of 4 rounds that you're going to see this weekend as we bring you the Memorial Championships. We've caught up with our second card. We're going to go ahead and get right over to the action. We've seen Nico LaCastro struggling here to get his round started. He threw his first shot OB. He then re-teed from the tee pad, threw his second drive OB. He went to a drop zone, and then from there, he got it near the basket, but then it trickled OB again. So as we catch up with them, they're going to be completing hole number 1, the approach shots, and the putts are going to be coming in. And then shortly after that, we're going to move over to our featured card, which of course is in store and voted on by our fans. I'll bring you the action. Stay tuned. You're watching live disc golf right here on Smashbox TV. And again, welcome as we are here on hole number 1 at Fountain Hills Disc Golf Course, measuring in at 390 feet. We saw our second to last group of the day tee off. Things were running about 15 to 20 minutes behind today, so we're here to bring you the action as our second card is moving toward the green, and then we'll be bringing you the featured card. Philo had thrown clean and safe off the tee. Nate Sexton had done the same as well as Big Germ. And as I mentioned as we got started, Nico has struggled here on this opening hole. This is where he was last in bounds from throwing from the drop zone. This will be his 4th throw plus the 3 penalty strokes. So Nico looking to just get done with hole 1 and move on. And he is in. A few years ago, the storied Nate Doss struggled here at Fountain Hills, carding an opening 8. And as we all know, just a few days later, comes back and cards the first ever disc golf hole-in-one featured on Sports Center. So a full 7-stroke swing by Doss. Coling is in for the birdie 2. And this is Nate Sexton, who threw by his account, a very safe shot off to the right, and he'll tap in for his 3. Our card is going to move over to hole 2, which will be the only par 4 in the first few holes. And in just a few moments, I think we're going to have the call on our card. Again, we'd like to welcome everyone to a beautiful, sunny Fountain Hills, Arizona, where there is virtually no wind and also not a cloud in the sky. Many of you saw the last few days rain and hail and other inclement weather roll through the Phoenix area. Today, it is gone, and we're ready to go. Our card today, of course, featuring Simon Lizotte, Eagle McMahon, Ricky Wysocki, and Paul McBeth. Yes, Simon, we are live. Do you have anything for our viewers or fans at home that you want to share now?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple of Europeans out there watching, and love you guys. Thank you.
All right, blowing kisses already for the early start of the round. Oh, is there a special request for the kisses? Okay. I'll leave it at that. Throughout the day, we'll be checking in with udisclive.com, of course, bringing you the hole-by-hole, in fact, throw-by-throw stats and updates from around the course. This morning, we saw Paige Pierce jump out to an early lead here at this PDGA A-Tier event, and here's the call.
As voted by you, the fans, feature card. Leading off from Bremen, Germany, two-time European Player of the Year, representing Discmania, Simon Lizotte. Man needs no introduction. From Huntington Beach, California, four-time world champion and four-time defending memorial champion, representing Innova Disc, Paul McBeth. Next up, from Boulder, Colorado, representing Discmania, Eagle McMahon. From Fort Mill, South Carolina, current world champion playing for Latitude 64, Ricky Socky Bomb Wysocki.
And last at tee, again, Ricky Wysocki putting himself within 15 feet of the pin. A great start here on hole number one. A daunting throw to start your round. And folks, we are excited for you to join us here today. This should be an awesome round of disc golf. Your four fan favorite players, some of the best in the world. Not only are they the best drivers, but some of the best, most dynamic players that we have here on any tour as we kick off the Disc Golf Pro Tour opener right here in Fountain Hills, Arizona. And Paul McBeth finds himself outside of Circle 2's edge, meaning he's more than 80 feet from the pin, with where he was a few steps behind Circle 2. Circle 2 being 66 feet or 20 meters. And an early miscue here by Simon Lizotte. He was approximately 45 feet from the pin. It looked to be right on line with the basket. However, it went up and over and carried deep past the pin into the OB water. Eagle McMahon is looking at approximately 12 feet. Ricky Wysocki is also in for the easy birdie to start off the round. McBeth will card the 3. And Simon Lizotte will clean up here for a penalty 4. We're through 1. We've got 2 birdies, a par, and a bogey. We'll be back with you in a few moments from hole 2 here at Fountain Hills. And a forehand shot that flirts with the OB wall on the left side. Eagle is inbounds. And Wysocki also with a safe forehand. McBeth looking to do the same. And Lizotte taking the only one taking the hyzer route, I should say, up and around.
Hello, I'm Drew Gibson. We're here at the 2016 Memorial Championship. I forgot what I was going to talk
You pretty
about.
much nailed that. Yeah. No.
Okay.
No, don't.
Why?
Go.
I'm Drew Gibson. I'm excited for the 2016 season. We're at the first stop of the national tour And I'm trying to like read it, but because I have my glasses on, so you can't see I'm reading. I'm pretty good at this. All right, I'm gonna nail this one, and then go.
And Lizotte checks up nicely as that's going to roll right to the pin. Lizotte was first to throw. However, no more than 20 feet in front of him is Ricky Wysocki's drive, and almost equidistant is in fact Paul McBeth's drive as well. Oh, and a very unfortunate kick off the lone tree on the approach shot here. And Paul McBeth is standing down for just a moment. We're seeing the second card, the second to last group, I should say, who looks to be teeing on a parallel fairway on hole number 3. So Paul is just waiting for them to throw their drive so he can proceed. As we look off to our right over Paul's shoulder, we may be able to get an image of Jeremy Coling throwing his forehand. Again, hole 3 essentially parallels hole number 2. And we'll also be able to get a quick image of Nico LaCastro sporting the very exciting, unique hat. We'll go with unique. Nico's up and over the OB, coming back in nicely, and finds him just short of the pin. This is Paul McBeth on the second shot of this par 4. And Paul looking to take the skip out of play. He released that much lower. We're seeing wide right hyzers typically. However, Paul seemed to go at that with a much lower line, and he also came up short. Eagle McMahon with the longest drive in the group. And Eagle off to the right side, going right of the tree that we saw Ricky Wysocki connect with as it was coming in. Hole 2 is in fact the longest hole featured out here at the Fountain Hills Disc Golf Course, this par 4. Most of the holes otherwise will be reachable by our competitors. McBeth just outside edge of circle 2. And Ricky Wysocki from 39 feet is in. About two. That first circle's 33. He was a full few steps behind that, Simon. All right, fine. You just commentate. You're right. And Eagle McMahon from inside circle's edge. Simon, in fact, second-guessing. Normally, the man who throws as far as he does, I would never second-guess distances, but I think my vantage point was a little clearer there. McBeth is in for the 4, and Simon will have an easy tap in for the birdie 3. We have a brief walk over to hole number 3. We'll be back with you in a few moments right here from Fountain Hills, Arizona. And Eagle McMahon's forehand goes deep of the pin.
Light.
Simon opts for the backhand hyzer and comes in nicely to the elevated basket. And McBeth also forehands to just behind the pin. And no problems for Eagle McMahon to the elevated pin. Ricky will be second to putt, looking at approximately 18 feet, maybe just inside that. And I expect a star frame here. Lizotte will tap in, and McBeth from 3 feet is 102% at that distance, and he's in. There's a little bit of a backup on our next hole. Maybe we'll catch up with the second group action. Stay tuned. You're watching Live Disc Golf right here from Fountain Hills, Arizona. And welcome back to hole number 4. It looks like we'll have Ricky Wysocki ready to tee in just a few moments. Ricky with a power hyzer out and around. It's coming in, and the gallery is giving him an applause. Again, from the tee, this is a completely blind basket. And Simon Lizotte with not enough power comes in a little bit short. And McBeth's effort comes up also short as we're feeling the first tailwind of the day. And after being told that McBeth had rolled closer to the pin, we see Eagle McMahon come in just short of the pin over the blind hillside. And we'll move down, seeing lush green grass here on the backside of the Fountain Hills Park. We're glad you guys could tune in today for our live coverage. Of course, bringing you four full rounds this weekend here at the opening event of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. This is the Memorial Championships presented by Discraft. And for anyone curious at home, if you think I may have picked up another language, I have not. I'm not certain as to who the person is, but there is someone here doing some form of live Facebooking or something, and he is doing play-by-play commentary, and it is in a different language. I'm not going to guess which one it is, but you may hear him occasionally. A solid run by Simon Lizotte, however, with the low branches creating a ceiling for him. That put him in a very tough position to be able to run that putt and to concern himself with the OB road behind him. Wysocki from inside 25. Eagle McMahon looking at 15, maybe 13 feet. And although Paul didn't know it from the tee, this had rolled closer to the basket our viewers had seen. Paul in for the easy birdie too. And this will be Simon Lizotte in for his 3. We have a somewhat lengthy walk as we move over to hole 5. Stay tuned. You're watching live disc golf right here from Fountain Hills, Arizona. The Memorial Championships presented by Discraft.
me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
Hello and welcome back as we are joining the action again from our second to last card of the day. Nico Lacasher, who had started off rough on hole number 1, he's lining up a putt. In the meantime, thanks to UDisc, I'll do my best to bring you the scores and updates. A few moments ago, I saw that the hottest score in the clubhouse had come in at 9 under par. I believe there were a number of them. And as I'm looking now, I see that through 17 holes, Dustin Keegan is currently at 9 under par. Yali Storr, continuing from his solid finishing performance over at Gentlemen's Club last weekend, also at 9 under par. He's in the clubhouse. Ziggy Bierkoven is at 9 under par, and Gavin Rathbun from Illinois, Young Gun, also at 9 under par. So currently we have a 4-way tie for the lead of the players that are sitting at 9 under par. A few of them have completed. Dave Felberg, Arizona resident for the most part, has completed his round, finishing at 7 down. Donnie Ferguson from Wisconsin playing very well, shooting a 6 under par on the round. Steve Brinster through 12 holes looks to be 5 under. And Steve Rico currently sitting at 5 under par through 14 holes. So please check out udisclive.com for up to the second scores and stats. In fact, I've heard they update almost so quickly that even our live feed cannot keep up. Ricky Wysocki is on the tee, and we're ready to go. And at the last moment, Ricky went with a disc change. Looks like he's going to be short and left. And McBeth not happy with his effort as soon as he had released it. Eagle lining up a forehand. Looks like to be a backhand mid. And the gallery likes the effort by Eagle McMahon. Simon Lizotte with, I believe, an identical mid-range. And Simons gently turns to the right. That looks to have stayed inbounds. And each hour on the hour, the fountain, the famous fountain here in Fountain Hills, Arizona, goes off as it is doing right now. Love to hear on the board if there's any guesses as to how high that fountain can get when all jets are firing. That only happens when there is an absence of wind. Love to see the comment.
Oh, I can't. Come on, baby. Hurry, 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 hurry. Thank you.
And Wysocki was ready to run that one down from outside of circle 2. And McBeth's efforts are just short and left. Simon Lizotte questioning as to whether or not he is in fact OB. And he is certainly inbounds. The question really remains as to whether or not he can pull it the 1 meter from the concrete. We'll see if we can get in here and give you a shot as to what it looks like. And I believe they have determined that it was safe. The question is, was that concrete OB or not? And with a lack of chain support, we see Simon Lizotte getting an up and over. He was, in fact, of course, he was definitely inbounds. The question is whether the concrete was inbounds or not. And the concrete is, in fact, inbounds. It is the curb, I believe, that defines the OB line. So that's why he was able to putt from where he did. McBeth and Wysocki with pars, McMahon and Lizotte with birdies. We're moving on to hole number 6 in just a few moments.
Achieving greatness requires hundreds of days of preparation, which is why the people at Vibram have worked for over 3 years to make their first ever distance driver the longest and straightest in the game. Introducing the new Vibram Lace, helping you achieve your greatness.
And a very brief walk over to hole number 6. Slight adjustment by Simon Lizotte to hang that wider right than we saw from Eagle McMahon. And Wysocki attempting to take the hill out of play by going up and over to the left. However, it seems as if that was early released. McBeth with a backhand hyzer. And after Ricky Wysocki goes OB on the tee shot, he finds himself knocking the flag off of the basket here on hole number 6. And quicker than I could realize it, Eagle McMahon was laying up from the left side of the fairway from approximately 60 feet. And Paul McBeth is looking at approximately 26 feet.
Yeah, baby. Nice putt.
McBeth converts for the birdie 2. And we saw this last year, one of these relatively new trees providing an obstacle on the putt. And I believe Simon released that just a bit high. He's got a big grin on his face. I think he knows he got away with one there. And we have a few tap-ins. We have a very brief walk. We're going to move over to the shortest hole here at Fountain Hills with a gorgeous view. We'll be back in a few moments. And Simon Lizotte first to tee and gets the green flag, finding himself inbounds here on hole number 7, measuring in at 210 feet. And albeit soft, McBeth is safe. And Ricky going with something very overstable, looking for that to scoot up toward the pin and gets the green flag. And as we typically see here on the exchange from holes 6, 7, 8, maybe even into hole 9, that is really the toughest stretch here on the course. Hole 8, always a backup out here at the Fountain Hills course. We'll have a few interviews and updates as we wait for the second and third cards to get into position on the next few holes. And Eagle McMahon narrowly staying inbounds. And there we have it. We are through 7 holes here at the opening round of the 2017 Discraft Memorial Championships. We're going to have a relatively large backup, as I mentioned a few moments ago. We're going to check in with a few of the players and also a few of our sponsors and supporters that we find out here for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. I'm Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. You're watching live disc golf right here on Smashbox TV with the opening event of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. We'll be back with you in a few moments after a word from our sponsors.
I'm Madison Walker, and you're watching live disc golf on Smashbox TV.
Hi, I'm Bobby Music here at Fountain Hills. This is going to be my definition of a death putt. Hole 1 right here. When you throw it, you technically want to be away from the water, which is up on top, coming straight into this, maybe a 15-foot, 20-foot ledge straight into the water. Being safe is always safe, but that death putt comes in real quick. So let's see it. From the circle's edge right here, about 35 feet, you could obviously see there's nothing but water in my eyes and chains. So if I stay focused on those chains and be confident, make a good putt. That's how you accomplish death putts. Hi, I'm Bob.
Paul's probably throwing a monster here or something like that.
Whoa.
Whoa, okay. Or that. That.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Here or something like that.
Whoa. Hello everyone and welcome back as we are watching the action taking place in the opening round here at the 2017 Memorial Championships presented by Discraft. I'm now joined by Michael Downs of the PDGA, and Michael, a little bit of a backup which is kind of expected on certain holes at certain courses. What have we seen thus far today out here though?
First and foremost, some beautiful weather. We are happy to be here in sunny Arizona for the first stop on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. It's interesting, the winds were up a little bit this morning, but it's started to die down a little bit in the afternoon, which is a little bit different than we're used to seeing. So we're expecting to see these guys take full advantage of that.
Well, it has been gorgeous. I said earlier there's literally not a cloud in the sky. We're looking at 70-degree temps, and I think we're going to see that the rest of the week out here. Have you been watching that?
I have, yeah. Last week in Las Vegas, we got hit with the wind, we got hit with the cold, we got hit with a little bit of rain too. So the promising weather in this week's forecast is very, very nice for some disc golf.
Now, you mentioned last weekend in Las Vegas, that was a national tour opener. So commonly we've seen the Memorial, but this year things got changed up a little bit and there's more great golf all around.
There is, absolutely, yeah. A couple years back, the Gentlemen's Club Challenge moved to Wild Horse Golf Club, which is a beautiful facility, and that was what kind of encouraged us to move in that direction this year. Typically, we look for 2 events in one particular region to kind of flip-flop annually on the national tour schedule, and so with the new venue for Las Vegas and the host club there, and such phenomenal work they've been doing to get those courses ready, and the great event they put on last year with the contributions to St. Jude and above and beyond, we felt it was time to move in the direction of Las Vegas and you know, open up the Memorial Championship to a different opportunity with the Disc Golf Pro Tour this year.
Well, there were no shortage of fireworks or excitement last weekend. Ricky Wysocki seemed to have a commanding lead, which it was as he went into that final round. But the likes of Paul McBeth trying to hunt him down, finding himself on SportsCenter, and all the drama and excitement you could want for. And then on the women's side, kind of a similar story with Paige Pierce. I think you were following along with some of that action. What were you seeing on the women's side, and just how competitive is it going to be throughout the year with them?
Gosh, the talent that's coming out of these two divisions is absolutely unbelievable, and it's amazing to see some of these, I hate to call them kids, but the younger folks that are coming up, you know, the Eagle McMahons and the young chick Evelina from Sweden, I believe, or from Finland, I'm mistaken there, but it's amazing to see these young talents come up and really put the more seasoned players to the test. And you're right, in both divisions, what seemed to be a walkaway ended up just becoming a very exciting competition towards the end, so it was amazing.
And we've had no shortage of excitement here at the Memorial. 2 of the last 5 or 7 years or so have ended in playoffs, and I expect some more of the same this year. What are we going to see for the rest of the tour this year as things are shaping up? You're a very busy man. You're running around. Usually Media Marty is also at your side. But what are some of the things that people can look forward to within the PDGA this upcoming year?
Well, it's not a surprise now at this point that we just named a new executive director. So last night we made the announcement that Joe has come on board, and we are thrilled to be working with him. We have high hopes, not only for him as our executive director, but also for the organization as a whole. You know, it's a very interesting time for the PDGA with the inception of all these new tours. Membership is booming right now, so we are absolutely thrilled to have Joe on board, and we welcome him to our team, and we look forward to working with him over these next few years.
As do we. So thank you very much again. Michael Downs from the PDGA. A new feature here that we're going to try for the first time ever on Smashbox TV is some highlights. Those are what we've seen just in the last few holes. Johnny V's got that all queued up. Him and Gary to the working the controls back in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's cue up the highlights from earlier in this round right here at the 2017 Memorial Championships presented by Discraft. And Ricky Wysocki from and no problems for Eagle McMahon to the Arizona resident for the most part has completed his round, finishing at 7 down. Donnie Ferguson from and with a lack of chain support, we see and after Ricky Wysocki goes OB on the tee shot, an obstacle on the putt. And I believe Simon and welcome back as we are catching up with the third from the final tee card here on hole number 8. I'd like to thank Michael Downs from the PDGA for not only all of their support in previous seasons, but also the partnership and collaboration that we are seeing here in 2017 and beyond. And as many of you saw or heard last night, news came in that we have in fact elected or chosen a new PDGA executive director. And of course we'd like to welcome him. He's been a longtime PDGA member and supporter, and we're excited for the direction of our membership body moving forward. And Hole number 8 is a par 4, the second and final par 4 found on the course, 570 feet. And Philo is asking or motioning that he'd like to see the gallery that is on the right side of the fairway. He'd like to see them move aside. I think he's ready to throw. I'm not sure if it's the wind that he likes right now or if it's just the play that he will be going with. But he's currently waiting on the gallery to step aside here from the second to last card.
Kind of over this one already. Huh? Great attitude. Well, yeah. If I stress about this one, then it's gonna make it miserable. You're up there filming or something? You gotta know when to let events go. When you're 7 holes in, you pretty much know.
And again, Philo trying to motion. If there's any way for me to assist, I would, but Philo is motioning for the gallery to step aside to the right. And it looks like we're ready to tee. And understandably, Philo had asked for the gallery to move because he threw exactly where they were standing. This is Nico LaCastro, second to tee. Nico taking a little more direct route with the left side fairway. Just barely filtering through on the right side tree is Big Germ's tee shot.
The Mach X features a unified chain assembly, connecting both layers of chain to a single point. The soft outer chain slows the disc on impact, while the high-tension X-pattern inner chains stop all forward momentum, securing the putt. With 40 unified strands of chain, the Mach X is the evolution of disc golf.
Super glue on it. Every backhand I throw hard, it opens it up.
And welcome back here. We are on hole number 8 on the tee. We're watching the second to last card clear off the basket area. I believe that's also known as a green. And in just a few moments, I think we'll be ready with our featured card. Paul McBeth, Ricky Wysocki, Simon Lizotte, all sitting at 4 under par. Eagle McMahon at 5 under. A few moments ago, I was on udisclive.com. Saw that KJ Nybo has moved into the leader position in the clubhouse at 10 under par, along with a handful of others that we mentioned earlier sitting at 9 under par. We'll continue to keep track of the stats. Again, go to udisclive.com if you'd like to see more.
He really is, though.
And after a lengthy wait here on hole 8, I believe we're going to be throwing in just a few moments here. Long thrower Simon Lizotte on the tee. Simon opts for a power hyzer that goes out and over the gallery, found on hole number 9's tee. And McBeth also with a similar line with a little less power. Eagle McMahon to tee third. And even faster than the previous two throwers, we see that come ripping out of Eagle's hand. And a great shot by McMahon. And 4 very well executed tee shots here after a lengthy wait on hole number 8. Thanks to Steve Dodge and the Disc Golf Pro Tour. We've got more footage from the women's round shot earlier this morning. We'll take a look at that now. We'll be back with you in a few moments. And Lizotte with a gentle turnover to the peninsula here on hole number 8. Both he and Eagle should certainly have a very routine approach here with a lack of wind. Again, you may not have seen it. We were, in fact, thanking our sponsors. Paul McBeth had thrown short. He was going to approach. He was first to throw. He approached to the peninsula green, however, came up short, hit the wall on the side, and then went OB. His disc is actually just floating within about 3 feet of the inbounds area right now. He'll mark it from there, and he'll be left with approximately 25, maybe 28 feet here. And this will be to save a penalty 4. And McBeth is off the front of the basket. Prior to this hole, I saw Paul McBeth, and he had said that he got off to a slow start. And now with his bogey 5, McBeth will feel like his start is even slower and a little bit more punishing. So solid threes by the rest of the group. McBeth still needs to tap in for his bogey. Up in the distance, I see his brother retrieving the disc from here in the fountain water. And he'll have it to move on. We have another backup, unfortunately, on hole number 9. We'll be back with you in a few moments after a word from our sponsors. And additional tee shots right here in Fountain Hills, Arizona.
And it wasn't, I couldn't even lay it on.
Shad needs to be squared up. And welcome back here to hole number 9. We see Nate Sexton throwing approach shots, or the first of a few approach shots, that is. I'd like to also go ahead and give you a scoring update. After a moment ago, we just saw Philo Brathwaite with a very fast layup Nico Lacastro is going to double check his distance from the pin. KJ Nybo still the hot score in the clubhouse at 10 under par. Yali Storr, Will Schusterek, Ziggy Berkhoven, Dustin Keegan, and Gavin Rathbun all sitting at tied for second place at 9 under par. And off the basket for Nico Lacastro. We've also seen that Dave Felberg sitting in 9th place at 7 under par. He's in the clubhouse. Eagle McMahon on our feature card is sitting at 6 under par and is currently tied for 10th, along with Pasi Koivu, Drew Gibson, Martin Hendel, Mike Conley, Steve Rico, Steve Brinster, Corey, and Donnie. Wow, I did not know there would be a 9-person tie there as I started reading, and a tie for 10th. So scores, of course, very tight right now, with just a little more than half the field has completed this opening round. Solid putt by Big Germ, Jeremy Colling. Big Germ on tour this year with Austin Turner, the young gun lefty from Team Discraft. And we will step back and get into position in just a few moments here. We'll be back with you in a few moments after a word from our sponsor on the tee of hole number 9. And the gallery approves as Simon Lizotte goes big toward the peninsula green here on hole number 9. Eagle McMahon looking to follow suit. And from our vantage point, that looks like it may have gone long of the basket. Ricky Wysocki taking a little bit more of a conventional route on the right-hand side, covering more ground. And McBeth's Destroyer is fading left. And again, tough to tell from the tee area. We've heard the gallery applaud. We're going to assume that's a great looking shot. We're going to move down the fairway here on 9. We'll be back in a few moments. Brad, get this next shot over there. Hurry up, Johnny, right now. And as we were rushing to get back here, seeing Ricky Wysocki simply laying up, going for the smart move here, the very conservative move in this opening round. Really no chance, or no real reason, I should say, to be running it. And trying to get both all of our sponsor recognition in there as well as the play as best as we can. We're glad you guys are tuned in here for the first round coverage of the Memorial Championships presented by Discraft. Paul McBeth is on the backside right of the green with the fountain going off directly behind him. And sure enough, that putt had gone into the basket, somehow slipped all the way out, got up and rolled, and McBeth is OB for the second time in back-to-back holes. Eagle McMahon, after seeing McBeth's go in and out of the basket and also layup by Wysocki, McMahon lays it up underneath the basket. Simon will convert. Little trivia fact to keep in your back pocket later. A few years ago when Paul McBeth had in fact shot 17 under here at the Fountain Course. This was the one hole that Paul McBeth had parred. Some would question as to whether this was a par 3 or a par 4 to begin with. It's a little bit of a tweener, as some would say. But this was the one hole Paul McBeth had taken a 3 on, hitting off the front of the basket a number of years ago. So his woes are a little more harsh today as he is out of bounds in the water, and again the second hole in a row taking a penalty. We've got a little bit of a walk up to hole number 10's tee. We'll be back with you in a few moments after a word from our sponsors right here for the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Flashlight LED disc golf discs just changed the game. The unique Disco Select feature allows everyone to choose their own color by simply pressing the middle button, then pressing it again during the first rotation of colors when the one you want appears. Or you can leave it in disco mode, rotating through the 6 different colors for the duration of your game. Designed by serious professionals, crafted from Night Eye's unrivaled sure grip material, and featuring Night Eye's patented fiber optics array, these discs strike the perfect balance of durability, stability, performance, and just plain awesomeness. With easily replaceable batteries and an uber-long life, the Flash Flight driver, mid-range, and putter will shine as they blaze your path to victory, day or night. Night Eyes. Discover your solution.
Simon, we got 2. Out of 4 equals. I got a 4.
And welcome back. As our second card are throwing their putts from what I can tell here on hole number 10. Hole 10 measuring in at 381 feet. Paul McBeth had just taken scores for the group a moment ago. Again, we feel now a gentle wind which is pushing from right to left. Still not a cloud in the sky. On this beautiful Wednesday afternoon here in Fountain Hills, Arizona. We're glad you could join us. Make sure you stay tuned for the entire weekend. Second, third, and fourth round coverage. We'll be back, of course, here for the fourth and final round on Championship Saturday as the 2017 Disc Golf Tour kicks off here in Fountain Hills, Arizona. Tune in tonight to the Disc Golf Guys channel on YouTube, where I'll be bringing you a nightly recap show of some of the action and interviews from our players. Also a special treat, Bevel Brewery will be debuting a Circle's Edge IPA beer that they did in collaboration with Perch Brewery earlier this year. So make sure you find us on Boulders on Southern. Get yourself a glass of Bevel's Edge, Circle's Edge IPA. We've mentioned a number of times the crews that are going to be running around giving you both live and post-production action. Corey from Central Coast hustled all weekend last weekend at the Gentlemen's Club Challenge. He's out here today. Look for that action tomorrow or later on tonight. Corey, when's that going to be out?
Should be out early tomorrow morning. Goal is to have it finished tonight and uploading over the night.
All right, so 11 p.m. tonight, you'll see it. All right, again, Central Coast. We also have Prodigy's own Marty McGee, as well as the Jomez production crew. So look for all of the post-production coverage as Simon's getting the all clear and thumbs up here on hole number 10. We're back with the action. Wysocki with a wide hyzer that is moving toward the protected green area. It's very difficult for anyone on the teeing area to see exactly where these discs are landing. McMahon will go with the wide right hyzer as well. Eagle patiently waiting, and Paul McBeth fourth to tee. And Paul hanging it out with a longer arcing hyzer on this right side. Paul, of course, hoping to get back on track after struggling on the previous two holes, finding himself OB both times. We have some more footage from the women here on hole number 10. Let's get to that, and we'll see you in a few moments.
This is P90X right now?
Yeah, dude.
And McBeth off of the basket, hits and curls to the right from outside circle one's distance. Eagle McMahon looks to be about 3 or 4 feet behind circle one. Little math at home will tell you that's about 36, maybe 37 feet. And just over the edge and in is Eagle McMahon's birdie putt. He continues on his tear here. And nearly in identical fashion, we see that hit off the lip and scoot into the pin. And Ricky is faced with almost no shot from the position he's in. And Ricky, who actually had the height and the velocity, however, just left on that attempt. McBeth and Wysocki will complete hole number 10 with a pair of pars, losing a stroke to their card mates, and we're moving on. We'll see you in a few moments on hole number 11 right here at the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun. And rarely do we see a player with enough power that's coming in toward the OB area. However, it is going to finish OB the left side of that sidewalk. Wysocki will be third to throw, also with a forehand. And McBeth with a forehand tracking toward the basket and short. However, that's going to be in a great position for the birdie putt. We're going to move down the fairway of here 11. Eagle McMahon OB on the left side. We'll be back in a few moments. Eagle with a gentle turnover, standstill approach. Second to throw will be Simon Lizotte. And Ricky Wysocki will have nothing but a layup here as he has positioned himself on the high right side of this hill. And as those trees protect the basket, very difficult position for him to be in. And McBeth makes good on the birdie. That is the lone birdie found here on hole number 11, picking up a stroke on both Wysocki and Simon Lizotte, and 2 on Eagle McMahon with the OB penalty. And we'll tap out and move on to the last third of the course. You're watching live disc golf right here for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. And McBeth with a gentle hyzer skipping up 290 feet. Lizotte opts for the wider gap on the right-hand side out along the single tree. Played nicely with a mid-range there by Ricky Wysocki. Eagle McMahon, like Simon Lizotte, goes with the wide right side. We've got more footage here from the women earlier today on hole number 12. Let's get to that now, and we'll be back with you in a few moments. Wysocki, the first to put in here for what should be a star frame on hole number 12. Eagle McMahon also in. Lizotte will tap in, as will Paul McBeth. 8 total strokes right here on hole number 12. Relatively easy for these guys. We're going to move over with a slight backup on hole 13. We'll be back with you in a few moments right here on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. And welcome back as we are joining our second card here on hole number 13. This is an elevated basket. I saw Nico LaCastro place his lie. It looks like Big Jeremy Coling is going to be first to throw. And Big Jerm is actually standing down at the moment. Hole 14's tee area is approximately 50 feet behind Big Jerm. So I just saw a moment ago Nate Doss tee on hole number 14. We're going to see Paul Ulibarri tee here on hole 14 in just a moment. So our competitors of the second card are waiting for the third card to tee. We had heard earlier today that Katrina Allen had struggled slightly. I believe it was here on hole number 13. Now, I was not personally here, but I had heard that She was aggressive with the putting and was just simply not connecting. And I believe she had carded an 8 right here on hole 13. Looks like Nate Sexton's going to be first to putt. Elevated basket, hole 13. The smooth and gentle Nate Sexton, no problems. Big Germ will be next. And Big Germ just a few inches short here. Philo finds himself up against the tree. We'll see if he's going to take a lie directly. Well, it looks like he will straddle out to his right-hand side. And in for Philo. Nico LaCastro had CTP in the group. He looks to be within 10 feet of the pin. Nico rocking the same hat we saw last weekend at Gentlemen's Club Challenge. And giddy up. We see 3 birdies and a par here by Big Germ on hole number 13 as he taps in. As they move off the green here in just a few moments, we should be ready with our featured card. We also see both the Jomez production crew as well as the Central Coast Disc Golf crew hustling around the course, trying to give you all the great angles for their post-production. Look for those both tomorrow. After birdieing both 11 and 12, McBeth has the tee and finds himself within 18 feet here on the elevated hole 13. And also just left of the pin. Third to throw will be Ricky Wysocki. And Ricky also finds himself within 18 feet, albeit one of the shorter holes on the course. Most of the players will be throwing sharp edge discs, playing for the skip, that low ceiling that comes in with the overhanging tree branch. And just as I say that, we see Eagle McMahon with a mid-range. And to be fair, Eagle has more power than most. It is a gorgeous Wednesday afternoon out here in Fountain Hills, Arizona. We're so glad you could join us. I'm your host, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, as we open the 2017 Disc Golf Pro Tour, the first of 10 stops that will travel around the country throughout this season. Next 2 stops both being in Texas. We'll see you in Waco, Texas in just 2 weeks, and 2 weeks after that we will see you in Rockwall, Texas for the Nick Hyde Memorial. Ricky Wysocki pulling along his signature cart. And again, our lead cart here may stand down as we're watching the group on hole number 14 throw their tee shots. Off in a distance, I think we can get an image of Philo. Also updating you on scores, we see Simon Lizotte at 8 under par, Ricky Wysocki at 7 under par, Eagle McMahon at 6, And after 2 consecutive birdies, McBeth has fought back to 4 under. And in a distance, we see Philo's tee shot go deep on hole 14. Nico LaCastro will be teeing next. And hole 14 featuring a number of very unique obstacles in that there's an electrical box found on the right side. If you skip and you go too far to the left, you could find yourself OB with the sidewalk. It is a relatively simple hyzer, but here we're watching Big Germ go with a forehand. That's a little bit of a smarter play. Unfortunately, he has definitely come up short on that. If you've got a consistent forehand as Big Germ does, that could possibly take the OB out of play. Here's Simon Lizotte putting on 13. And Lizotte's attempt is high and left off this DGA Mach X basket. McMahon is in and will push himself to 7 under par. Laser headed toward the basket on hole 13. And McBeth is in. And Simon will tap in. We're going to be back with you in a few moments from hole number 14. You're watching live disc golf right here at the 2017 Disc Golf Pro Tour. And welcome back here to hole number 14, measuring in at 375 feet. We're waiting for the second card to clear the green. And there's an interchange here from 14, 15, and 17. And McBeth coming in, giving the little flex here. He wanted that one to go in. You can't ace every weekend, Paul. Wysocki hanging it wide right, looking to play that one in toward the pin. And comes in just behind it. He'll have a slightly obstructed putt from there. And that fast green I spoke of earlier, we saw skipping away for Eagle McMahon. And Simon Lizotte hanging out wide to the right. We'll have to see if this checks up for him. And it comes in nicely. And Paul McBeth, I think, just trying to support his local sponsor here at the Memorial, says right here, Paul's ace on hole 14. So I think he was just trying to do his job. He made sure to point that out after the near ace run here. Paul, again, you can't get on SportsCenter every weekend, or maybe you can. We're going to move on. We're here on hole 14. Johnny, did you pan to the T sign for us? And Eagle McMahon also with a low-hanging branch in his way, not able to convert on the birdie. And with an outstretched Ricky Wysocki, he takes the birdie too. A little bit of work here for Eagle McMahon on the 14th hole. He's in for the par. easy birdie for Simon Lizotte and an even easier tap in here for Paul McBeth. Anytime you can pot with your driver. We're through 14 right here at the Disc Golf Pro Tour. We'll be back with you in a few moments after a word from our sponsors. And welcome back, everyone, as we are here on hole number 15. Nate Doss walking by, and Nate, I've got to ask, not that you're not concentrating on your round, but tonight's a big night. What's going on? Where should they find us?
Well, tonight Paul's about to get ready to throw here, but we're going to be at the Players Party over at Boulders on Southern, releasing the Circle's Edge IPA. I've made a lot of Circle's Edge putts today, so I'm ready to get that IPA in me.
I bet you are. We'll see you there.
Enjoy.
And Paul McBeth with a great shot here on hole number 15. This hole that plays somewhat down the lower lying area here at the Fountain Hills course. And plenty of power by Wysocki, however, wide right. And Simon Lizotte with more than enough power as usual. Eagle McMahon looking to do the same. And Eagle will have a putt from there. We're going to move down the fairway here on hole 15. I think we'll also be able to catch in with drives coming in on the adjacent hole 16. As I look to my left side, seeing the drives come in here on hole 16. Nate Sexton first to tee. This is one of the few changes that we've seen out here in the last few years at this Fountain Hills course. Hole 16 has been moved across the walking path to alleviate a little bit of the congestion from the patrons and passerbys. Also making this hole just a bit shorter. Philo has thrown his tee shot. Big Germ Coling will be third to tee. And correction, Coling last to tee. Ricky Wysocki was waiting just a few moments for them to move off the teeing area. This is Wysocki from just outside Circles 2's edge from what I can see. And McMahon from inside 20 feet. That's a birdie too. And an outstretched and awkward stance there by Paul McBeth, however, is good for the birdie. Simon Lizotte also in. And Wysocki will walk away with the lone par here on hole number 15. And as he does just that, we'd like to go ahead and thank all of the patrons and people out there watching the live coverage right here. We'll be back with you in a few moments on hole 16 at the Memorial Championships presented by Discraft. And welcome back to hole number 16, measuring in at 327 feet, approximately 100 meters.
Good math right there.
And coming in nicely from the right side is Paul McBeth's tee shot. And shortly after release, Simon Lizotte knew that he was a little bit early with that release. That resulted in a short left skip. And McMahon just short of the pin. And a great shot by Ricky Wysocki. We're here on 16, just 3 to play in our opening round, the 2017 Memorial Championships. Simon's birdie attempt is off the top of the basket. McMahon from just inside circle one's edge. Simon, after throwing his tee shot, had expressed a little bit of disgust, I guess would be the best way to put it, saying that he feels this is one of the easiest holes out here. He's certainly frustrated with his effort. This is for par. And now from approximately 28 feet, Simon misses his par opportunity. McBeth is in, and Wysocki closest to the pin here on 16. Some easy cleanup. Not what you would have expected here, with Simon Lizotte relinquishing 2 strokes to the rest of the card as he takes the bogey. We've got just 2 to play right here during this opening round. You're watching the 2017 Memorial Championships presented by Discraft.
So you think you want to play Disc Golf Pro Tour Fantasy League at Skip Ace? Well, then go to Skip Ace and sign up. Step 1, make a new user. Step 2, log in. Yeah. Step 3, get ready to win some prizes because you're joining the Disc Golf Pro Tour Fantasy League. Join the Disc Golf Pro Tour Fantasy League. Password DGPT. Might want to review the rules. If you do well, you get points. You do bad, you lose points. Easy. Step 4, make your picks. Step 5, submit your picks. Step 6, make some popcorn. We'll see you on the flip side at the Pro Tour. Out.
And welcome back, everyone, as we are watching our second to last card of the day move down the fairway here on hole number 17. Just a few moments ago, we watched Philo Brathwaite along with Nico LaCastro, Jeremy Coling, and Nate Sexton throw their tee shots. We'll be able to give you a little bonus action watching them throw their approaches and or putts. And again, just 2 holes left to play here during this opening round. Thanks to UDisc, I'll be able to bring you some scores and updates. We're seeing that currently Nate Sexton is sitting at 10 under par. He has a share of the lead as he's completed 16 of the holes. Kale Leviska also at 10 under par. He's through 17 holes. KJ Nybo, we discussed earlier, he's in the clubhouse with his 10 under par. Simon Lizotte was in a tie for the lead up until the previous hole. Through 16 holes, he's now at 9 under par, tied with Eagle McMahon and Ricky Wysocki. Will Schustrick came in strong today with his 9 under par, along with Yali Storr, Ziggy Burkhoven, Dustin Keegan, and Seppu Payu, who is also now in the clubhouse at 9 down, along with Gavin Rathbun. So very tight battle. Paul McBeth finds himself tied for 13th place at the moment through 16 holes. He's tied with Philo Brathwaite, Devin Owen, Zach Melton, Jordan Castro, Nate Perkins, and Austin Hannum. So very tight race as we are watching the second to last card approach here on hole 17. Nico's long-range attempt is short and does not make it to the basket. And before we move into our final 2 holes, we'd like to again thank our fellow post-production media crews that we're seeing out here for the Disc Golf Pro Tour, specifically Central Coast and Jomez Productions, who have been helping out. Big Germ. They're not helping out Big Germ. They're helping out our broadcast for the drone flyovers, so thank you to them. As Big Germ cans a huge putt from the left side. He's going to feel good about that moving into the final hole of the day. Philo also cashing in on the birdie too. Hole 17, as you saw, 468 feet. Slightly downhill. Paul McBeth not getting the skip he was hoping for. And Eagle comes in with the sharp edge, getting the skip. And a skip flashing in front of the basket by Simon Lizotte. We're going to move down hole 17 where we have footage from the women earlier today. McBeth plinks off the left side tree here in his attempt from just inside circle 2. Eagle McMahon from circle 1's edge. In for birdie. We see both Ricky Wysocki as well as Simon Lizotte inside the circle. Wysocki at 23, maybe 24 feet. Easy for Ricky Wysocki. Hole 17, like hole 11, there are only 2 trees that guard the basket. However, if you're on the wrong side, they can be trouble. No problems here. 3 of 4 birdies on 17. That is not something you'd commonly see. Just shows how good these competitors are with 1 hole to play during our opener round. We'll be back with you in a few moments right here for the 2017 Disc Golf Pro Tour, the Memorial Championships presented by Discraft.
Sun King Discs, established in 2001. Florida's most respected name in disc sports. official retail merchandiser of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Currently on tour supporting Discraft and DGA live inventory, free shipping at $12. All orders $19.99, ships in a box, includes single discs, large selection of both stock and collectibles. Check out the website at www.sunkingdiscs.com.
All right. Welcome back as we are here on our 18th and final hole of the day. Philo Brathwaite tapping out. Big Germ had thrown what I believe was his second shot a few moments ago. This should be his third shot for par. And we are ready with Eagle McMahon. And Eagle nearly sticking the landing there as he goes with a wide right hyzer, not a shot most of our competitors take. However, Eagle, with more power than many, goes out and around the trees on this right-hand side with a spike hyzer. And I believe that has too much height. That's going to need to sit down there by Ricky Wysocki. That is heading toward the left side. And in fact, found the OB water again right out of his hand. It looked with too much height. Simon Lizotte looking for that also to sit down. That's heading toward the water and checks up nicely near the pin. And Paul McBeth opts for the direct route straight over. That is definitely heading into the water. However, he's going to get a spot just left of the basket. We see two OB shots here of the four competitors. We're going to check out what the women did earlier today right here on hole 18. We'll be back with you in a few moments on our final hole of the day.
And out of his hand, Wysocki knew he had converted on the par save as he hastily grabs the disc out of the basket. Certainly frustrated with his OB throw on the tee. McBeth will find himself even closer, looking at less than 30 feet from the pin. And McBeth with a uphill straddle stance does not convert. Lizotte, however, finishes with a birdie, as will Eagle McMahon. Eagle tapping in from less than 5 feet. And McBeth in for the 4. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. We've completed the first round here at the 2017 Memorial Championships presented by Discraft. Our feature card had a few ups, but also had a few downs. There were some heroics and some challenges. We're going to be back after a word from our sponsors in just a few moments. When we do, we'll grab an interview with likely the leader or possibly co-leaders once we check the scores on UDisc Live. I'm Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. We'll be back with you in just a few moments.
Get it anywhere close, it stops on a dime, basically.
Looks like you got a little cut roll even.
Yeah.
Dawson going back to that TI Buzz.
It's tough to have a good putt long.
Gotcha. Dosco, TI Buzz.
Just the perfect height. See, missing left there is not bad because it gets stopped just like you see there. So
there you go. Yeah. The Joe.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I am joined by two of our three co-leaders here at the Memorial. I believe so, thanks to udisclive.com. Let me go check out the scores. You didn't even know the scores. So talk about your round while I double-check the scores.
Started off shaky with a great bogey on hole 1. Felt really confident after that. Then just ended up birdieing a lot of holes in a row and kind of got in the groove. My putting felt so off, though. I was kind of just parking all the holes. Kind of played well. I felt confident off the tee, but putting needs some work, so I'm going to work on that tomorrow.
All right. And Eagle, your round was considerably different from Simon's. Tell us about how it went for you.
I was really happy with my round in general because this is like the first time I've really played the Memorial. I played it 2 years ago, but it wasn't all that great. So just shooting what I did out here was really nice. I mean, I just kind of took it one hole at a time. I'm super tired from playing Vegas, so I just have no real expectations and just throw on the shot that's in front of me.
Well, we see that it's the two of you, along with Nate Sexton, and then from what I can see, I see Cale Laviska looks to be at least just one stroke behind you, and I think there's some ties there. But looks like the two of you plus Nate Sexton, all thanks to UDisc Live. Tomorrow we move on to another course. What's the game plan there?
We're playing Fiesta, right?
That sounds right.
I shredded that course 2 or 3 years ago, so I feel good about it. Just need to dial in my putting. I think it's different baskets on that course, so I like different baskets.
All right. And Eagle, what are your thoughts for tomorrow?
No thoughts, just going to throw the hole in front of me and get as many birdies as possible.
All right. Well, is it safe to say that you guys at least had a little fun out here today? I know you guys are traveling together, same sponsors. You both throw 200 miles or meters or 400 meters or something. Was it a good time out there at least today?
Yeah, it's always fun. If they keep doing this feature card stuff, then we might end up playing every tournament together the first round if you keep voting for us. We love it.
We love it, guys.
You're so popular.
Thank you.
All right, Eagle, you want to send us out for tomorrow?
Yeah. Make sure you tune in tomorrow and keep on dreaming.
Keep on smiling.
All right, that's Eagle and Simon. It's been a great day. Thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, we'd like to thank everyone out there from the Disc Golf Pro Tour as well as the Memorial Championship staff. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to be bringing you a live broadcast again. We'll see some of you tonight at Boulders on Southern. Please stop by. Nate Doss, along with Valerie, are going to be offering up their Circle's Edge IPA. So for Rick on the camera, along with Chad, for Gary to the O, Johnny V back home, it's been a great day here at Fountain Hills, Arizona. We'll see you guys tomorrow when you step inside the Smash Box.